Hi everybody, my name is Elizabeth Maida, and this is my Case Study 3 presentation for SPCE 638. To begin, my client information. My client is a 5-year-old male. He has an autism spectrum disorder diagnosis. His main behaviors of concern are elopement, flopping, and crying. With the elopement, this usually occurs during transitions from preferred activities to non-preferred activities. He may also sometimes elope when asked to do something he doesn't want to do, such as a work task. His vocal communication is emergent. He will communicate through one-word utterances and gestures. Occasionally, he does have two-word utterances. This is something that we want to expand, so his goals include expanding those man-carrier phrases as well as expanding his tact repertoire. This will open the door for communication as well. So the intervention to teach tacting. Tacting is a verbal operant. It's when an individual labels any item or object, an action or activity. It could also be a feeling, any sort of label. The controlling variable is a nonverbal stimulus, so it's something they see or feel, want to do. Interventions utilized are, we are utilizing match to sample, listener responding, as well as multiple exemplar training. So match to sample, the stimulus is presented and taught to match a secondary stimulus. This most commonly is cards, laminated cards. My example is going to be fruit. We're talking about apples. So we might have one apple card, we say match, and there's an array of other foods, and he has to match it to the identical apple card. So this could be matching images to images as well as words to images, and it can also include non-identical matching. For listener responding, this is following the directions given by others. So the SD might be touch the apple, and the individual has to point or touch to the apple from an array of a variety of pictures or objects as well. And multiple exemplar training is just a way to promote generalization. It's giving multiple examples of the target stimulus. So this may include different irrelevant features that are going to vary across examples, but it's all going to be under the same stimulus class. So moving on to stimulus class, that is a group of stimuli that share common elements. So this example, we're talking about fruit is this target stimuli. This has many variations and features, but they all are going to fall under the same category, like apples, bananas, strawberry. We could also take this a step further. If we were talking about apples, we have yellow apples, green apples, red apples. There's a variety of features as well within that category, but they're all apples. Derived stimulus relation. This is a relation between two or more stimuli that are untrained. Examples of these are reflexivity, symmetry, and transitivity. So we're going to go ahead and talk about each one of these. Reflexivity is a generalized identifying matching between each of the experimental stimuli. So an example of this would be when we use match to sample. The client will match an identical picture of a card of an apple in an array of pictures. So the therapist might have a picture of a red apple, and there's an array of apples, array of pictures, maybe they're all fruit, and he has to match it to the apple picture. Next is transitivity. The examples are A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. So we're teaching the relativity of A and B and C, and then the learner is using that derived stimulus to conclude that A equals C. So if we teach our client that an apple is a fruit, and we teach them that fruit is something you eat, when we run a listener responding program, the transitivity is implemented when the client it can indicate from an array of pictures a fruit following the SD of you eat. Specifically, maybe touching an apple, right? Because that's our example. Okay, and the last one is symmetry. The example is A equals B, then B equals A. Alternatively, A equals C, then C equals A. So we teach this through non-identical matching and multiple exemplar training. So the client will match a picture of a red apple to a picture of a green apple. Both of them are apples. They're one of the same, but they're variations, right? So those are all different ways of how we use match to sample, listener responding, as well as multiple exemplar training that all identify and create opportunity for that derived stimulus relations that's going to help our client expand their tact repertoire, as well as that expand their man repertoire as they can just continue to open the doors for communication. All right, thank you.